Welcome in 304 podcast. This is another episode, and we are excited for what we got lined up tonight.
We're excited.
We're excited. How's it going, Timmy?
It's going good. I'm excited, and I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it.
Oh, no. You just reminded me of, like, Saved by the Bell. You remember that
I'm
episode?
so excited. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Anyway, guys, we appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. This is the 304 podcast on 304 Athletix on Facebook, Geek Gorilla TV on Facebook, and the 304 podcast on YouTube. We're everywhere. We're that big. We're everywhere. But guys, if you're watching, be sure to hit those like buttons, those thumbs up, the shares. That means a lot to us as we're growing the platform. Guys, tonight we have a very special guest in with us tonight. Was it last Saturday, I guess?
Yep,
April
last
2nd.
Saturday. Yep.
Me and Tim went to our first MMA event, Titans of the Cage 31 in Wytheville, Virginia. Got to give a shout out to Slick Rick for the ticket hookup.
Thank you, Rick.
And it was not a letdown at all. We had a whole lot of fun. It was a great MMA show. It's a great promotion. We were very impressed with everything that we saw. Of all the matches of the night, one stood out above all. You know, us, we're not super MMA guys, but one fight stood out, and we had to reach out and get her on our show. So we got her on here tonight. It was the fight of the night. I also want to give a shout out to her opponent, Leslie Steiner. She had a great performance. It was just a terrific match all around. They definitely brought the term girl fight. They put that to shame. You can't even say that anymore.
No.
But we want to bring in Helen from Princeton, West Virginia, training out of Advanced Martial Arts. Our guest on the 304 podcast, the Mamba herself, April Cline.
Yo, hey, April.
Hello. How are you guys?
We're good. Don't punch me.
Don't punch my face.
Don't punch my face. That's the money maker. No.
Right?
Did you say money taker?
Yeah, money taker. Fine.
Guys, if you're watching and you have questions, be sure to leave them in the comment section. We will get to them, even if we don't do it, immediately. We will get to the questions.
What's up, Rick? He's saying, yo, what's up, fellas? What's up, Rick?
Hey, we really do appreciate it, Rick. We
more than you think.
Really expanded our horizons on a lot of things. You know, we really, with 304 Athletix, we want to focus on, we focus on football and basketball and things, but we don't want to miss things like, an MMA show that they've done 31 shows. It's a really classy event. It's not, from the reading of the rules at the beginning to, the anthem, and the whole show was just very family oriented, very fun. It's something that you could take your kids to or whatever. I was really impressed with it. So if you get a chance when they have their next show, be sure to go check it out.
Yeah, definitely. It was. I had a great time, man. The whole time I was just glued into everything, man. It was. I definitely want to go again. Ain't no doubt about that.
Well, Advantage Martial Arts has got some good things going on. We've had Rick Caruso on now, and now April. We're just going to dive right into this with our questions, and then as we go, we'll see what everybody else has to say.
Yeah. Well, you ready for the questions, April?
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right. True or false?
All day.
Truth or dare? No, I'm kidding. Like we said, like Sammy said in the intro, you and Leslie just brought a new meaning to the word girl fight, because that was the fight for us, the fight of the night. Tell us, about your fight with her and the strategy that brought you the victory.
We studied Leslie on her last couple of fights. We knew that she liked to fight at a distance. So the way that we knew that I would be victorious was closing the gap. If I take away her legs, then I knew that she didn't have a strong enough punch game to stop me. So our strategy was to cut her off at the kicks. So that's why I stayed in so close in majority of the fight. Because a lot of people's like, do you have kicks? I do, but I didn't really need them for my opponent to be victorious. A little bit in the second round, I kicked a little bit just to, keep her at a distance to let her know, like, hey, I do have kicks. It's just like a little Mamba warning, like, pump, like, I do have these. These ham hocks are real.
So a gentle reminder.
Yeah, just like, like I know this is not a boxing match, but we knew with fighting her, we knew that she had an iron chin. I mean, like, she's strong. Like, I was just like, how many hits are you going to take? Like, I was just like, this is crazy. But that was our main strategy when we were going for her, was to cut her off at the legs. And I knew everything else would fall into place.
Well, it worked, because that's the first thing Sammy told me was, that girl, it has like an iron chin. She is taking them, and because we thought it's like, okay, you got this first round. You got her easily, and then she just kept accepting them. Kept coming back. It reminds you a little bit of Rocky, fighting the Russians.
Right?
Like,
I know
she's like a piece of iron.
Yeah, she's not human.
No, it was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it really was an amazing feat. That it went 3 rounds, because, I mean, she took a lot of punishment and took it with a smile. I mean, like, she just kept coming. Like, it was so impressive. It was so impressive. What got you into boxing, kickboxing? Because it was a technically a kickboxing bout. What got you into that, and what made you decide to take it? Training was one thing, but taking it to the cage is something else. So what made you want to take it to the cage?
Right. Well, I've always been a wrestling fan, like I used to go to the Brushfork Armory all the time as a kid growing up. Also, I've always liked the Rocky movies, and I've always loved mitts. I think it's a beautiful dance, just the way that it flows, and it has a special rhythm. And I was sitting home one evening in 2020, and we were watching Creed. And I told my husband, I was just like, you know what? I want to do boxing, And he was like, if you can find somewhere around here, he was like, do it. I'm like, by golly, I will, And at the time, I had some coworkers that were taking classes from Derek. And I was like, hey, let him know that I'm interested. I started on May 18th. And, every quarter, I'm a visual person, so I need to see where we're going with this step. And, like every quarter I always ask, I'm like, okay, what's next? Like, how can I move and be better, and build? And in December of 2021, he was just like, you're going to be complacent on a bag. He was like, you're going to get bored. He was like, you're progressing. He was like, your next step is to spar and eventually take a fight. And I'm like, okay, because I'm like, I'll try, but I'm thinking, later on down in the summer of 2022, And as we're talking, he's texting, but I'm not paying him any attention. And he told me at the end of my class, he was just like, I just threw your name in for a TOC match in April. And I'm like, April what? 2023? He's like, oh no. He was like, April 22. I was like, that's 4 months. And he was like, yeah. Grant you, I only stayed on a bag for 18 months. So I didn't have any head movement or anything like that. So in order for me to take this, I basically had to be stripped down of everything that I knew and start with a clean slate, because a bag doesn't hit back. People do. So yeah, that's how it all started to go in. Because like when I started with boxing, I would always ask like, what's next? And then I was fascinated with Muay Thai because I think it was pretty, and just learning how to march and stuff like that. And then, as you know, I'm in a cage on April 2nd.
and going back to that fight, you wouldn't, for me, I wouldn't have thought you were that much of a newbie, honestly. I think you're a natural. You definitely have a gift in that. just the way you present yourself, you hold yourself, and the way you strike. I think it's the way you fight is beautiful in and of itself. Go back to that fight to the second round when you were just unloading on what's her name, Leslie, right?
Leslie.
Or, yeah, when you're unloading on her, I kind of thought there for a moment you were kind of carrying her to make the match last longer, just for fans' sake. Well, I doubt that's the fact. I mean, is that true? Did you feel like you were carrying her just a little bit, or was she just like legitimately that hard just to put down?
She was just that hard to put down. Like there was times, like the last 15 seconds, like she was sliding down the cage, and I seen her eyes just like faint out. I'm like, okay, she's done. And she blinked again, and she stands back up, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, really? And they're like, round 3, and I'm like, okay, here we go.
And I know
right.
That's the moment. That's the moment Tim's talking about too, because I remember it very, very well when her eyes did faint, because you could see it a little bit.
Yeah.
And there was kind of a clinch that came out of that. And like you could see, we were back in the corner, and you could see that it was like she was out for a second and then recovered just as quickly. And
like that.
the way the clinch came, it almost looked like what he said. You don't want to say carrying somebody, but like the way it looked like it looked like I've never seen somebody like it happen that fast, where they're out and then they're recovered and clinched just within a second. Like it was so fast. I mean, it was like I was so impressed with both of you, and
yes,
like I said, her ability to take a punch. I mean that was impressive. I mean,
and of
really,
course,
truly.
the people in your corner was half of Princeton. I mean, crap.
Yes.
And we happened to pick that corner to sit in. We didn't know half of Princeton was there. Like, hey guys, what's up?
Right.
And they're just cheering. I mean, the whole room would just went crazy for you. I saw your husband. I'm like, hey, what are you doing here? No, what are you doing here? It was really cool to see, and especially the support that you had was phenomenal. Especially with Rick and everybody at Advantage Martial Arts. I'm gonna slow down a little bit and talk about Advantage Martial Arts for me, and how training there helped you prepare for your fight.
It was very humbling and hard from the very beginning, and you have to respect these guys and girls in this sport, because it's not given, it's
right.
How bad you want it. Are you hungry enough to go through all this training, and when you accept a fight, you have to know, like, it's not cupcakes and rainbows. Like if you have a good day, the next day it means nothing. You're not going to get complimented. You're not going to get pat on the back. They're preparing you for battle. You know what I mean? It's like a kill or be killed situation. You have to work. You have to study. You have to go in it and be humble, and that's what I got from down there. They were like, we want you to be the best. We can only take you so far. You have to carry yourself to the ring and perform. We can only do so much. And Derek, from day one, from the first day that I met him on I'll never forget it, on May 18th of 2020, after our class, he looked at me and he was like, I'm gonna make you a fighter. And I was like, absolutely not. I was like, my mama is not going to allow me to fight. I was just like, it's not going to happen. And he was like, oh yes. He was like, give me time. And he was like, I will make you a fighter. And when I accepted that I was going to fight in April, he sat me aside. He was just like, you have to want it. You have to put everything out there. He was like, there's, no gray area, and it was a respect thing, because like these guys and girls, I mean, they live it, they breathe it, like when you go down there, even the kids that are like 5 and 6 year old, like they're so passionate about it, and you're just like, yes, I want it, and when I told like my friends and coworkers that I was fighting, they were like, Derek doesn't, not produce a fighter, like you're going to win. If he's putting that much time and effort in you, he believes in you and you're going to get it, it's up to you to carry that. Even with like Brett, even with like Jeremy, even with Rick, they took me underneath their wing and they were just like, we want you to succeed. Like, and they like gave me so much hints and so much like pointers and stuff like that. And even like when I was feeling high, also bring me back down and be like, you know what, still stay humble out of this whole thing. That goes a long ways, you
Yes,
know?
it does.
And just to see like how many people I had there to support me, you know, and I knew that I was getting the award beforehand, but just to step in that ring and see my family, my little girl, you know, and all my family and friends, like I had people to travel 5 hours to get to Wytheville just to see me fight.
Wow.
You know, like it's just crazy, you know? And even before I walked out, you know, he was just like, take it all in, be a lion, go in and strike. This is your moment. You worked hard. You've done everything that I've asked of you. He's like, this is your moment and shine. As I'm getting ready to start crying, you know, and he was like, you're a warrior. It's time to eat. Let's go.
And strike you did.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what it is, you know, because like it's such a great atmosphere, you know, and just to see how everybody comes together as one. It's a family, you know. We just happen to beat each other up.
Right.
You know, but yeah, it's humbling, and everybody down there wants you to succeed, regardless if it's, you know, 5 years old, 12 to 40 to 60 years old. Everybody wants you to succeed, regardless if you compete or just do class. You know, everybody is so complimentary, and if you work for it, they're like, they'll give problem process due, you know, and it's just great. I love it.
Well, it was definitely, you know, if you had family and friends that traveled from 5 hours away, I'm sure they were thoroughly entertained. I mean, guys, it really was like, I wish we had the video so you could guys watch it.
Yeah, I know.
You can go to the Titans of the Cage page on Facebook, and you can actually get the pay-per-view of it if you want to see it. Go spend a few bucks and watch it. I promise you won't be let down. It was a great fight. We'll change gears just a little bit. You know, something that we try to communicate with our audience is mentalities to take it to the next level. Whether it's football, baseball, basketball, MMA, and, you know, training to fight and taking it inside the cage is one thing, and then just training to train is another thing. So when some of us think about getting in a cage and exchanging punches, like, for me, that's a hard concept to grasp. It's hard. But what is the mentality of a fighter, and how do you develop? How did you go from being, you know, training and learning to box to having the mentality of a fighter?
I had to remember and tell myself just to have fun. You know, like if I'm not having fun, then everything that I'm doing is pointless.
Yeah.
You know, like, and take it as a learning experience, you know, like the good, the bad, the ugly, you know, and, you know, you have to go into a dark place, because like nobody really wants to get punched or kicked, you know, it hurts, you know. So when I'm training, because like I mainly fought men during my sparring camp. Occasionally I would have females to spar. So I just had to stay humble. I had to remember my training through that whole week, you know, and just push through. You know, when I thought that it was hard, you know, I just remember, you know, I have 40% more that I can still push through. You know, it was always that I don't want to give up that mentality, you know, like, and plus I don't want to beat myself up because I didn't want to quit regardless, you know, push through until the ref calls it, you know, regardless of what it was. So I just had to stay mentally strong. Like this right here, as crazy as it sounds, like we recently started going back to church, and just to have that spirituality and stuff like that, that kept me grounded. So then I was able to pursue mentally, you know, like I was just like, you know, like I can do this, you know, just stay humble, you know, say your prayer and just go in, you know, and it comes into a full circle, because, you know, as cliche as it might sound, like I wasn't nervous when I was walking in because I was so over prepared that I was just like, all right, this is time, like I shut everything out. I didn't hear the crowd. I didn't hear anything. I was just like, stay in, keep your arms up, your fist on your face, and just go in. And that's how I got there. Is just stay focused and grounded.
And that's rare for somebody to have that kind of, I guess what you call it, constitution, I guess, to be, this is your first fight. I mean, me, I'd be nervous as crap, but I understand you don't hear the crowd, but to have that mindset going in, that's incredibly rare. You just don't hear about that. You just like, okay, my first fight, it's all business, and I just got to do what I do and get out. But that's you don't see a lot of that at all. And no, and as far as the spiritual side of it, I've noticed you at church. Thank you for coming. no, it's been great to have you and Justin there, man. It really has. Shout out to CFP.
And it's a big testament to Advantage Martial Arts and the training that you've got too, because it sounds to me like they really know how to get you to that mentality to where you can walk in there almost fearlessly and be able to focus on the job at hand and not worry so much about the crowd and all of that, but to actually be able to go in and focus. Because I would imagine, not every coach is equal, and it would seem to me that not every coach would know how to teach that specific lesson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like when Derek took me underneath his wing, we sat down and talked, and I was just like, I don't want to go in there and not do well. I want to make you proud. I want to make Advantage Martial Arts proud, and he was like, you can't let me down if you don't give me all of it. You go in and give me everything that you worked hard for. And he's like, that's all I can ask of you, And even, like I said, like when I tell you that all my coaches talk to me, even the fighters in class, like everybody has their own style. And just to hear it all put together and just recap it, it's just like I'm a part of all of my, coaches. It's just like it's so hard to explain because they basically took me underneath their wing and was just like, you know what, we are with you. We know you want it. You're hungry, and we're going to go the distance. And I put in the work. When I tell you I was there at Advanced Martial Arts for 6 days a week, I was putting in 2 to 4 like training days a day. Like that's how hungry I wanted because they didn't stop. They constantly was looking at film. They were constantly looking at different styles. They were constantly, picking my footwork apart and just putting everything together. Like it's a big puzzle piece. And on April 2nd, it finally came together, and that was just something that, like I said, like I couldn't, what's the word I'm looking for? Thank them enough, because it was just so humbling, and it was just, that was just the way that they operate, like they're trained killers, going hard.
Well, Derek finally, he definitely sees something in you. There's no doubt, or he wouldn't have been so hard to push you to do it. So would you say after your first fight, would you say you've been bit by the bug now? Are you hooked?
I am. We were talking about that today. I told him, I was like, look, I'm 36. I'll give you 4 more good years. If you see something and that we can pursue this and do well at, let's go. I have nothing but time. But after 40, I need a rest. These bones don't heal like they used to.
You guys got a senior league.
Right. Where's the master league? Yeah, exactly.
Well, and that makes it even more amazing because, personally, I would have never guessed you're 36.
Yeah.
That makes it even more amazing because, I'm on the cusp of 40 myself, and I know, that 35 to 40 is not the easiest time of your life. So to take up boxing at 30, 35, that's amazing. And then to have your first fight be at 36. I mean,
yeah,
it's just so impressive to me that's. I wish I would have done that in my mid-30s.
It's not too late. You'd be surprised. Like there is so like the age like span for our boxing classes and MMA, it's like from 5 to like 60. You know, it's amazing. It's never too late.
I mean, I got a fight coming up soon, but that's on Xbox. I mean,
but I'm telling you, like it's so much fun. Like you wouldn't realize, you know, like how fun it would be. Just the basics. You're just like, what? Are you serious? Like I was hooked from day one. You know, we laugh and joke now because I was like, am I going to do a 30-minute class or an hour? And he was like, oh no, you're doing an hour. You know? It's like,
well, so, April, what advice? You know, you got a lot of, you know, you're in the spotlight like that. So what advice would you give someone who is looking to pursue mixed martial arts, boxing or kickboxing, as more than just training?
I would just say the first step is just walking in, you know, overcoming your fear and just have fun with it. You know, like it is truly life-changing. Just give it a try. You know, we hold ourselves back on too many what ifs, you know, and just give it a try. You know, it's right down the street, you know, it's right there. You know, step one is just walking through the doors. And that's with any type of fitness, just not like with martial arts, just anything, you know, just step in,
right? Write
your own story.
I almost thought about it. I contemplated it just to go in, just to learn a few boxing maneuvers, you know, it's right. It's always a good thing to know just a few skills, you know, like Napoleon Dynamite would say, I got skills. But,
right.
I mean,
I'm doing my Molly Shannon.
Hey, I'll tell the viewers out there, you get us over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and we're at about like 820. You get us over 1,000, man. Me and Tim will go down and train for a little bit, and then we'll have a blooper reel of me and Tim sparring with each other. That'd be kind of fun, right?
I can do that. Challenge accepted. Oh yeah,
you're a lot of fun. I like you.
So now that you've got this first win under your belt, I know you said you're looking, you know, you got 4 years. You're gonna go all in. Is there anything that y'all are already looking at, or is it still a little too early to look at another fight, or what y'all's thinking as far as that goes?
There is an event that is in West Virginia called King of the Mountain State, and they hit different parts of West Virginia. And the first fight for the tournament is actually in Madison, West Virginia next weekend. And he is trying to get a female boxing into it, the Queen of the Mountain State. So eventually, some part of this year, I will be featuring on that card.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll definitely come watch that.
Right now, food is tasting really good to me. I don't look like I did Saturday. McDonald's and Chick-fil-A has entered back in my life.
Shame.
I know. But
how did you feel when you woke up Sunday morning?
Yeah.
You know, I felt good. You know, I was still on cloud 9, you know, like it was just still so surreal. You know, it's like, wow, like I did that, you know, like it was surreal. And, you know, I talked to Leslie, you know, and, you know, we are planning on training together later on this year. Like I told her, I was like, iron sharpens iron, you know,
yes.
It's, you know, there's not a lot of females in this sport, and it's so hard to find a fight. So if we stick together and no drama or anything like that, like we can build an empire with this. You know what I mean? Like there were so many kids, you know, that was there at that event that came up and gave me a fist bump or wanted a picture, and they were like, you know what? I want to give it a try. I'm like, yes, do it. You know, like go for it. You know, and I was just like, there's no need why we can't, you know, be featured again on the same card. Like there's no, hostility or anything towards her. I have nothing but respect for her.
I already know what to call it. The Iron Mamba 2.
Right?
Well, you guys that are watching, what was so amazing about the Titans of the Cage 31 was you had your preliminary fights that started at 2, then you had your main card that started at 5. But from 2 to 4, you had kids in there mixing it up and everything. Like, it wasn't just adults. I mean, I'm talking some little kids.
That's cool.
We're in there getting it on. Like, I mean, it's really, Rick says they're going to have another event in November. Be sure to be on the lookout for that. And we're going to, we're trying to work with them a little bit to maybe get some fighters on and talk, maybe generate a little buzz for it, because it was really an enjoyable event. I really did enjoy it. And I will not miss another one. That's for sure.
Yeah, it was fun. A fun night. So yeah, I enjoyed it.
So King of the Mountain State is it April, June, September, and November?
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. I know the first one, like I said, is April 16th at Madison, West Virginia. And we have 4 guys that are competing in that.
Is Derek fighting in that?
No.
Okay.
No.
I like to watch Derek fight, but I think he's a good boxer.
Oh, he's so hungry. Like, to see it in his eyes, it's a force to be reckoned with. Like, it is truly amazing. Like, to watch him spar and to watch him roll, like, the way that he thinks, he's always like 15 steps ahead. Like, he is. It's just a beautiful dance. Like, I was talking to him today, and I was just like, dude, you're so ready. I was like.
I enjoyed his main event, though. We went down to watch him in McDowell County a few months ago, and that main event was fantastic. He lit him up. You could tell he did his homework. He was hungry, and now he holds 2 belts. I mean, crap.
Mm-hmm. What a way to come out, Come out, yeah.
Broke his hand, but that's the name of the game.
In the 3rd round, and still went all 8.
Yeah.
Monster.
Yeah.
That's unheard of. I was hoping not to break a nail. Then she really was going to get it,
I was going to take you down the 2nd round.
Yeah, that's it. You done it. But yeah.
Well, for all the viewers, guys, you're watching the 304 podcast live here on Facebook and YouTube. 304 Athletix on Facebook and the 304 podcast on YouTube. Go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button. Leave comments or questions for April. We'll get to them as we get through the rest of our questions. We're gonna hop now into our 10 questions. We do 10 kind of short questions, and some of these we've already touched on, so we may skip around a little bit just to.
Sorry.
Yeah, hey, it happens. That means that everything's going good, and we don't have to dig for answers. So that's
true.
Good. Who is your biggest inspiration?
My biggest inspiration, I would say, just my family, because I come from a very tight-knit family. And each one of them holds a special puzzle piece to make me. So it's just all my family.
I love it. I mean, there's nothing better than that. Yeah. Why'd you give me this question? I know why you gave me this question, because it's a Tim question. April, my question for you is, what is it like to punch someone in the face?
It feels pretty good, like I can do it without going to jail, so that's nice. Yeah, I don't recommend it on the street, but in the ring or octagon, it's pretty good, especially when you make full contact.
And that you did.
That's something a lot of the MMA fighters, they always talk about is, when you're punching and you're hitting those glancing blows, and then you land that shot. And you know, because you can feel it from your hand to your toes that you just fully connected. Did you have a moment like that? Did you have a moment like that on Saturday where you felt
the sweet spot?
That?
Yeah. When I seen that I busted her nose.
Oh, we saw it too.
I was just like, and I seen her head. I was like, oh, I'm gonna do it again. Ooh. I was just like, I felt like Shawn Michaels. I was like, sweet chin music. Here we go. Let's go.
I love it. Oh, just to feel that flush. Now,
what would your dream fight be?
My dream fight.
Yep, and it could be anybody, male, female, past, present, future, whatever.
Oh, I've never really thought about that. I don't know.
It's a good question. I mean, it's hard.
It is like a dream fight because, like, I would probably go back to my WWE days when it was like the whole Attitude Era, and the women division was pretty and I you know what, I'm gonna go against like Trish Stratus, like I'm gonna like her or Lita, I'm gonna come out and be like, let's go.
I would pay to watch that fight.
Oh, heck yeah.
We can do a TLC, table, ladders, and chairs. Let's go.
Oh, I love you so much.
So that's who like my dream would be.
My dream match for you is to fight Jake Paul, because I know you'd whoop him.
I would take the hit just to get the money.
Right. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah, let's go. Just hit me.
The Attitude Era was the best era in WWE.
She's gonna take that. She's gonna take that $5 million Pokemon necklace away from him.
Right. I got skates. Yeah, definitely the best era. Definitely the best era.
Since you're new, you knew the fighting world. What fighter would you say you model yourself after?
As cliche as it sounds, I would say Derek Lambert. We recently just talked about it. I told him in my training, I want to go back to that old era when he brought up majority of his guys. I want to go back to that old school, down and dirty. I step in the ring and I've been there, and I catch myself like imitating him. So I would say Derek. As cliche as that sounds, but it's the truth, because that's all. I just follow the people I know. Like, I really don't know a lot about like UFC fighters and stuff like that unless I hear them talking about it. So I'm just a product of my environment, and my environment is advanced martial arts. So I will imitate the guys from the class.
Right.
Well, but that also, again, and I kind of brought that up earlier, that also goes to show you that these guys that are teaching these classes know what they're doing so well that it's worthy of mimicry, because that's, mimicking is the best form of flattery, and so to model yourself after him, it really should be a testament to everybody else that's interested in boxing or going to advanced martial arts, that you've got somebody that you can model yourself after and be successful.
And a lot of people don't realize how much talent is in this area. Like, we have several pro fighters, MMA and boxing, that's at advanced martial arts. It's just not people just taking classes. Like, we have people that can potentially go to the UFC. Like, we have that here in West Virginia. Like, they travel, and they're well known, and it's up to us, to get it out there and make it, advertisement, because people don't know that. I didn't know that until 2 years ago. Like, they traveled, they've met, famous people, they have the talent to be on the highest platform. Like Derek, he has 2 titles. Jeremy has a title. and it's just like, that's here in our backyard.
Yeah. And,
And
that's
it's
funny you
amazing.
mentioned that like that, because that is our purpose here at the 304 podcast. Well, mainly the 304 Athletics. Me and Sammy, we notice there's a lot of hidden talent here, hidden gems in any kind of sport, MMA, football, softball, golf, basketball, whatever, that we need to find, expose, put them out there, and let people know that, hey, this area has got some awesome athletes and some awesome things happening that is right under their nose. And I always say we have got to open the floodgates somehow to that and just let it flow.
Right, because like just a couple of weeks ago, I met the guy that knocked out Ocho Cinco at Advanced Martial Arts. Who knew?
Really?
Yeah. Like, that's crazy. And they're coming here because Derek has such an empire. They're coming there to get trained.
That's awesome.
How crazy is that?
No, that is crazy.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm like, you fought Ocho Cinco? He's the one that knocked him out.
Threw a football in his face.
Right? Yeah. It's just crazy. It's like you said, we have so much hidden talent.
We do.
And it's up to us to let it be known. We can't sit quiet. We can.
Well, and that's our total mission. That's our total mission with 304 Athletics. I mean, is to find this, to dig it out where it's at and put it on display. Our platform has grown fairly well since, with the 304 podcast and the 304 Athletics. We always get a fair number of views on everything that we put out. And, the more we grow it, the better it'll be for everybody. But it also shows, you always hear kids say there's nothing to do around here. There's never anything going on. But it's like, you're just not looking in the right places if you don't think there's anything going on.
There's always something going on, positive things that are going on.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
now at the end of the third round, did you know you won?
No. Like, it goes by so quick. And she teeped me right in the chest. And when I was taking a deep breath in, and that just took something out of me. And I was just like, oh, man, this is going.
It's real.
Yeah, like, this is not going my way no more, Like I was just like, ooh, this is iffy, because she got a couple good licks on me, And I had like an out of body experience, and it was just like I was standing there and I knew like I was still in the ring, but I just wasn't present until I got hit a couple of times. I'm like, okay, I'm back,
Wow.
And plus, I heard them say, I thought they said 15 seconds, but they were screaming out 50. And I was like, thank you, Jesus, it's 15 seconds. And I was just slowly like punching. And then I was just like, I remember saying to her, how long is this 15 seconds? And she was like, I don't know. So we were on the same page, but they were screaming out 50. So we both were just like, it's up and up, I was like,
yeah,
this is not good.
That was towards the end of the third round, right?
Yes.
Because I remember
we were holding each other.
I remember like seeing mouths moving, and I'm like, I wonder what they're saying, close to the end of the fight. So it's funny to know that it was.
That's great.
How long is this 15 seconds?
Because they were like 15, and I'm like, okay, 15 seconds. I'm like, all right, and then I'm not hearing no clicking, and I'm like, how long is this 15 seconds? And she was like, I don't know, and I'm like, dang. So then when I realized that we still had some more time, that's when we were both like, all right, let's get back into it. And then we heard the bell and we were like, oh, Jesus, it's over.
That's funny. We did not know
But
that.
yeah,
That's funny.
That's what we were talking about, because I was like, how long is this 15 seconds? Like, y'all killing me. Ring the bell.
I don't know.
I was like that scene in Creed. Throw the damn towel. I'm done.
That's great, man.
I was just like, please.
Brian Maxwell's in the house. All right. Okay, your nickname Mamba. Of course, when people hear Mamba, they associated with Kobe Bryant, of course. But where did the nickname for you, Mamba? Where did it come from?
I do CrossFit, and we always give ourselves a couple of nicknames, and they started calling me Mamba when I was pregnant. So I started carrying that. So I've had that for about 6 years.
Okay.
And I have two nicknames. One is Chocolate Thunder, and the other is Mamba. And I didn't want to come out to Chocolate Thunder, because that was my old life,
Right.
And so, even though it's on my license plates, Chocolate Thunder.
That's great. I love it.
I love it too. That's awesome.
That takes me back to Rocky 3 with Thunder Lips.
Right? So when they had to do nicknames, I was just like, I'm not coming out to Chocolate Thunder. I'm not. That's just too much.
April, Chocolate Thunder, Cline.
I know. And I don't embarrass easy, but that right there, I was just like, I just can't. I can't.
There was one guy that fought that had what was his nickname? I had me rolling.
I don't know. I forget. It was something weird, man.
Something Badger, and I was rolling.
Rick, what was that, buddy? The Crack Badger.
Crack Badger. That's what it was.
Crack Badger. Where'd you get that one from? No, yeah.
That's the only fans page question right there.
The regurgitator's like, dude, you need to pick something else. Something else. What are you gonna do? Puke on somebody?
Hey, Rick, do you have any idea why that guy's name is the Crack Badger? Just curious, because I'm surprised nobody heard me laughing, because when I heard that, I was like, did he just say Crack Badger? Oh, God. That's a badger on crack. That's scary to even think about, but
yeah.
It was funny. So between the time that you found out you were fighting and the fight you said was about 4 months?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How did go ahead.
He put my name out there on December 13th. So we were waiting for Joy Miller to accept the fight, because that's who he put my name for.
Text message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had roughly 4 months to prepare.
That's not a lot of time. That's not.
No, it's not. That's a lot of crying, contemplating my life.
Did you look at Derek and go, "Are you a crack badger? You on crack?"
So for you guys that are invested in the Crack Badger story, it used to be Honey Badger.
Well,
but in his gym, he had constant energy. They said he was like a crackhead.
There you go.
There you go. Comes from all over the place, right?
Don't want to know about the regurgitator.
Yeah, I'm not so interested in that one.
Ate Taco Bell one time and had a fight, and the rest is history.
Oops.
Well, if it was regurgitating, I think he did all right.
April,
what advice would you have for others wanting to take up MMA style sports?
Just give it a try. Just come in, observe a class. They're there all throughout the week. And like I said, everybody can do it. It's one of the best exercises that I've done. And I would just say, just give it a try. So, like I said, we're going to get you 1,000 followers, and I'm going to see y'all in a couple of months.
I hope we never hit that.
Oh yeah, it's
exercise is the devil. It's the devil.
Let's see here.
Good Lord, I'm 41, man.
I want you to take a minute and give your shout outs to whoever you want to shout out to. While we've got you on here, we'll go ahead and let you do that. So take it away.
I just want to take time out and just thank all my family and friends, everybody that came out there support me through your thoughts and prayers, your messages, and showing up. It means the world to me. Like, I could not ask for a better support system than all my families and friends. to my advanced martial arts family, my CrossFit family, my close family and friends, my husband and my daughter. I truly appreciate you and thank you all.
Perfect. We need to clip that and then just clip that and then send it out. Have her share it and put it on TOC.
Well, we'll give one more shout out for questions. If anybody has a question, let's get it in here now.
Did Chris have one? Did Parrish have one back here?
Maybe so.
He said just now able to tune in, but pick a. He says I'm just now able to tune in, but pick a Hollywood boxing fight: Adonis Creed, Apollo's son, or Rocky from Rocky IV.
I'm not sure what he means.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, me neither.
Like, which one do I think is better?
Or
I'm gonna go with Rocky IV when he, revenges Apollo's death. So he kept his word.
Well, it was so interesting. I'll tell you what's interesting about that was me and Tim went and watched the Rocky IV recut when they did all of that. And Sylvester Stallone actually talked about how he wished that he hadn't killed Apollo in Rocky IV. And it was funny because me and Tim were like, well, if he doesn't kill him, then what's the point in fighting Drago?
Right.
It's so funny. Like, those movies are so interesting how one little change could have changed the whole dynamic of those movies. I'm a firm believer it's one of probably the best set of movies ever. I mean, as far as
100%.
Just the way they're written and presented and the stories behind him writing them and everything. Like, it's
even five.
Even five.
Ooh,
yeah.
five.
I mean,
that was still hard to watch. I still want to beat Polly's butt. Like, how do you let him get a hold of all your money? You don't give your money to Polly.
Yeah, how do you get a power of attorney or whatever? Or he gave it away? I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, I'm still sour about that.
Me too.
What's the first thing you ate after the fight?
Pizza roll from Happy Mart in Tazewell.
Yeah, you know what? I keep hearing about that place because I've done food reviews also, and I was trying to find the best pepperoni rolls. We've had some places here that's been really good, but I keep hearing about the Happy Mart in Tazewell having the best pepperoni rolls.
It's a game changer.
Really?
I've been eating those ever since I was little because I'm from Bishop. So
okay.
So yeah. So
I gotta get one.
It's so good. So
everybody likes a good pepperoni roll.
Oh yeah, I like to eat.
Oh, Chris comes in. He said, "Pick a winner out of those." What are you saying? If Rocky from Rocky IV fought Adonis Creed? He's weird. He's on our Sporgy. He's okay. No kid. Pepperoni rolls are horrible, says Rick Caruso.
Well, April, we've kept you on here for an hour. We'll go ahead and let you go. We appreciate you coming on.
Thank you guys so much for having me. This has been fun.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
Yeah.
Like we want, anybody from Advantage, if you've got something going on, you want to come on and talk about it. Like, we've done lots of things with Rick, and we want to do as much of this as possible. And that's our goal, is to get the message out there of what's going on and where people can look. And, for these, kind of our focus is on, a lot of kids going into college and making their decisions on where they're going and all of that. But, and all of that is a group of knowledge from people that are doing big things and the way they arrive at those decisions. And I think for a kid to go back and watch some of the podcasts that we've done in the past, including this one, it kind of gives them some perspective on decision making. And that's essentially the root of what we're doing is, letting kids follow the example of good decision making and how that works and seeing it in motion. So we appreciate you coming on to share that, because I think there'll be some kids that'll watch this and really take a lot with them out of what you had to say.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, because somebody told me you were a character and you were a lot of fun, and I'm like, great. Cannot wait to talk to her. Am I going to see you at church Sunday?
Yes.
Okay. If not, that's okay. I'll probably play hooky too a little bit if I didn't have to be there.
No, no, I didn't get to make it last week.
I know you were you were resting up, and I understand.
I was at Cracker Barrel.
Oh, I was too after church.
Well, no, I was in Wytheville. We stayed the night.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, we ate like the clumps.
Rick Caruso says, "I've got a new student that wants to be just like Miss April."
That's awesome.
That is.
That's awesome.
Wow.
You got it. You got a gift. I mean, you're a natural. You're definitely a natural.
Thank you so much.
Well, if we'll go ahead and let you go, you can just go ahead and we'll pop you out, and
we're going to talk behind your back.
Yeah, we're going to do a session about our interviewers called Behind Your Back.
Yep.
Where we just kind of talk about our experience here, and that way you can go back and watch it later and hear all the crap we talk. Then when you see Tim, you can punch him in the face.
Ah, crap! I just quit church.
It's gonna be like that scene off The Little Giants. I'm gonna pop some Alka-Seltzer in my mouth.
That's gonna be my expression. Just, oh crap!
Yep, I'm going in.
You want intimidation?
Yeah,
I
know. It's such a good movie.
I love your pop culture references. I do. Thank you again, April. Thank you, honey, very, very much for coming on the podcast. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for reaching out. This is so much fun.
Hey, we'll be in touch. We'll definitely do it again.
I didn't realize how big my forehead looked.
I didn't. You look great. I didn't realize how big my head looked.
Oh, I'm so shiny. It's like receding hairline.
Because I'm shiny.
I know, right?
No, you're fine.
No, it looks good. You're fine.
Give Justin a kiss for me.
Oh, I know. That's who's calling.
Dude, stop. You're ruining our podcast.
I know. There's always that one.
Got to be that one person. All right. You have a good evening. We appreciate it.
All right. I'll take.
Bye, April.
Guys, that was April Cline.
Gosh,
the Mamba herself.
Yeah, she's fun.
I'll tell you what, her fight, guys, really, if you can go over to the Titans of the Cage 31, Titans of the Cage on Facebook, the pay-per-views there, I don't know how much it is, but you can watch her fight there. There may be other ways to watch it. If so, we'll put it in the description. But man, she was so impressive in her fight.
You wouldn't thought she was that new. I mean,
it was the fight of the night. I mean, and it was like, one, I would have never guessed that she was 36. Would have never,
no, me neither.
Would have never guessed. And two, I would have never thought, unless we knew, that was her first fight, you would have never known. And then, her opponent, Leslie Steiner. I mean,
what her nickname is.
I'll tell you, the only other person that I've ever seen take that many jabs was that dude Rick Caruso fought in Welch, because that dude ate jabs like it was his job. And I'm not going to talk about that fight, but
he screwed out of that, didn't he?
That kid ate so many jabs that I mean, he's probably still snacking on them, and that was months ago. It was bad, dude.
Leslie, man, Leslie, the Iron Jaw Steiner. That's what you got to call her, man. I mean, she that was great, and it was kind of funny because we were and I just had a complete brain fart. I mean, just complete. I had
that's
something
okay.
I want to say.
We saw the smoke.
Yeah,
you go. Oh, no, but the thing with Titans of the Cage, like we said, that's our first local MMA event. One of the first rules you'll hear when you go to their event is no cussing from the crowd, no cussing from the fighters, no cursing. It's kid friendly.
Yeah.
And that really sets the tone from the beginning of the event, because you know that it's going to be handled with some class, and
not barbaric.
That it's not going to be, barbaric, and you're not going to have, guys throwing fits and acting a fool, and the fans aren't either. And it was really good. It was really a family environment. There was lots of kids there. The kids, I got tickled at some of the kids, punch them in the head and choke them out. It was just so cute. And it was so funny. And then of course you have the fabulous Rick Caruso as your ring announcer. He did a very, very good job all night keeping up with the fights. There's really no bad critique of the event. There was a few rear naked chokes. A few. There's a few of the fighters that are, I'm sure right now, going to start working on learning how to defend the rear naked choke and the guillotine choke. But the fights were good. There was good knockouts. There was good stoppages. There was April's fight. It went all 3 rounds to a decision. The decisions were fair. They were, it was a really, really well constructed event. And I definitely don't want to miss another one. Hopefully 304 Athletix can have more to do with maybe helping get the fighters on and talking about their bouts coming up as we progress to, I guess, their next event, which Rick said was going to be in November.
Yes, if you're watching Miss Kimberly Ring, we would love to collaborate with you.
Did your brain ever?
No, man. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to. It was something to do with the fight, and then you and I talked about something.
They even had good food. With that, so
baked potato with pulled pork on it and butter.
Yeah.
I love the atmosphere of the Welcome Center there, or was it the Welcome Center?
Convention Center.
The Convention Center in Wytheville. Nice
Community
facility.
Center.
Yeah. Nice facility, man.
Yeah, I mean, from the minute you walk in, it felt like it had that feeling about it. This is MMA. It felt like it when you come through the door. We picked up our tickets, got our wristbands, and then you go into the room and there's, chairs all around this huge cage in the middle. And we were back in a corner just because we like to stand up. And when you're 6'3" and 6, you don't want to stand up in front of people. So we stood in the back. And I mean, there wasn't a bad place to sit. I mean, it was enjoyable. I mean, with the way COVID's been and stuff, like it was a good, it was one of the first events we've got to go out to in a while. Like, and it was a whole lot of fun.
Like I told you while we were walking into the building, man, it felt like we were in Cobra Kai going to the All Valley tournament. I mean, it was like, you're the best around. We could just hear the sound check. Sweep the leg, Johnny.
Well, and something else that struck me too that was kind of interesting was how you could get such a good feeling of the fighters' personalities through their ring entrances. Like the songs that they picked to come out to, like it was, because that was something me and you talked about, was how, there were some songs that you're like, really? They're going to come out to that? And then you watch them in the ring and you're like, well, it kind of makes sense.
That one that towards the end of the night was fun. I forgot what song it was, but it made everybody laugh.
Yeah, I know which one. I can't remember the song. Yeah, it was funny.
What would our walkout songs be? I told Sammy at the fight that my walkout song would be different every time. Something funny that would make people like, never gonna give you up, stuff like that. Just off the wall stuff. The Titanic theme. I mean,
100%. My walkout song, 100%. It would never change. It would be the same thing every time. I still believe. Tim Capello from the Lost Boys. That would be my song. Love that song. It's one of the best songs ever.
It's been 40 days since my fight. Yeah, Rick's always different too. He couldn't help himself out there in the ring. He kept bobbing, dancing to all the music. It's like he wanted to fight. I know he probably wanted to be in there. But no, to go to where we got to see Derek and Rick fight in Welch. Or was it in Welch? Yeah, Welch. We got to see them there. And then that was a very entertaining, supporting Rick, supporting the guys at Advantage Martial Arts. That was a good night of boxing, but it was just a little different, or a lot different with TOC, and just the atmosphere they provide there. Everything is top. You would think it's just top notch. Like you said, not a lot of problems. The crowd behaved exactly the way they should have. Very kid friendly. It was. I was really impressed with it. I really was. And the lady who owns the whole promotional thing, who owns Titans of the Cage, Kimberly Ring, was a fantastic lady to talk to. Fast talker, a little hyper, but that's what I like about it. I like that personality. But she was nice to talk to.
That's why our shows are so good. I mean, that's the kind of energy. Like that's what's funny is like that kind of energy breeds that kind of energy, and like
right.
It was so funny because once we met her, like it all kind of like you understood exactly why the show was the way it was and how it went the way it went, and all of that is because that energy gets transferred into what she's doing, and like it was just seriously. I mean, it was impressive. Like I mean, it was a lot of fun. It's something that, I guess they probably had a capacity crowd. I mean, there was not really any chairs around us to be had.
That's an interesting fact right there. Wow.
She used to train with Chuck Norris. Wow.
Dang. That's bad.
Yeah, that's tough, man. I mean,
we're not worthy. Awesome. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you can't top that. And man, the way she called out those two fighters who kept backing out. Oh, I couldn't compose myself. Like, oh crap, that's awesome. That's bad.
Yeah.
Don't you sign these.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's cool that it was on pay-per-view and all of that stuff, but like, it was just, I don't know. It's like if I was going to run my own MMA, that's exactly how I would want it to be. Like,
yeah,
it's like, it's so family friendly and all about, respect and stuff. It was awesome.
Wow. I did not know that. That's awesome. I mean, seriously. Perish. I didn't have it in me no more. That's cool, man. I did not know that. She needs to hook us up with them. She was in Cobra Kai too. Yeah.
That's all.
I love you, Rick.
Well, guys, we appreciate y'all tuning in. This is 304 podcast here talking.
Thanks again
Titans
to April Cline.
Yeah, I'm talking Titans of the Cage, April Cline, the Mamba. She was a great guest. She's very well spoken, very fun. Couldn't have, in my eyes, that's what you always hope for in interviews, and she knocked it out of the park. Seems like a really good role model for these young kids to look up to and to follow after. Really seems to me like, you couldn't find anybody better to follow behind if you're into boxing and martial arts and things like that. Like she's a real class act. And, that's the thing. That's the thing about advanced martial art or advantage martial arts that I can say is everybody that we've ever dealt with from there, whether it be Rick or any of those other guys, like that is just a hidden gem in the area that just it's producing. If you meet the instructors and some of the people that's coming from there, like you see what it's instilling in the lives of these folks and how important it is to fill that role in the community because, there are kids that need that kind of discipline in their lives that they may not get it anywhere else. And, it seems to me like that would be the place to go to get to instill some of those lessons.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to hit up Derek, man, and see if he'd like to come on the show. Just talk to him. So, Derek, I'll probably get in contact with you. Most likely, I will. I'm coming after you. Not to fight you. Not to fight. Just to get you on the podcast. Chill.
Yeah, and like I said, man, we get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I mean, me and Tim may come down there and give you guys a blooper reel.
I hate you so much.
I'd kick your ass. So I used to kick your ass at racquetball.
I wish I could fight, but man, I suffer from positional vertigo. I take one shot to the head, I'm dizzy.
Well, we'll let Mark fill in for you.
No, I mean, Somebody give this guy a stool. But I mean, before I got the vertigo crap, man, I probably would have. That would have been fun. I mean, just to try. But now that I got that, I mean, I still wouldn't mind learning the skills and techniques. But as far as fighting, no, I can't do that.
Put a little helmet on you.
Still, it has to be a pretty big helmet.
You get one. You get one helmet. You can either put on this helmet or you get your cup. You get one or the other. You don't get both.
Helmet.
Well, I'll take the cup then.
That's fine. Emma Brock said April was amazing, and Derek Lambert definitely needs to do a podcast with y'all. Definitely, I'm gonna reach out to him. We'll schedule him because he's. I mean, not only he's a great fighter, holds 2 belts, but he needs to. He does a lot of coaching and training, so that'd be nice to hear that side of it and what possible prospects he has coming up in the future and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely. Marcus will be the announcer.
Well, guys, we're going to sign off for tonight. I'm Sam the Man. This is my buddy Tim. This is the 304 podcast on Facebook and YouTube.
Versus Tim, what's Timothy's nickname?
Tiny Tim.
That or Tim Tannick, man. Tim Tannick. There ain't no ice. I'm too old for Tim Tannick anymore. I go through the iceberg, man. I don't get sunk. Look at the impression of my couch. Yeah, I do a lot of sinking.
Tim Tannick, yeah. The rise of the Tim Tannick.
Oh God, man.
I'm gonna call you Jack.
Don't let go. I gotta let go.
Come on, Rose. Scoot your ass over. Let me on there.
Let me on the door, Rose. You're covering all of it. There's enough room for 2 people. God.
But yeah, guys, we appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight. Yeah, that's what we want to do here on 304, man, is bring you people that are fun to listen to and have something to say and are doing big things. We've got a couple of we can't talk about who it is, but we're working on something that would be one of the biggest bookings 304 has seen so far. Fingers crossed, hope we make it work. But be looking for that because it may be kind of last minute. And we will definitely want to pull a crowd for that one. But guys, if you got anything going on, shoot us a message. We can bring you on. If you have like friends or family that's played college sports, or if your nephew's getting ready to go off to college to play football or baseball or whatever, or your niece, and they want to come on and talk about their decision about where they're going to college and what they're doing, holler at us. We'll bring them on. Like, we're trying to give these kids a platform to put themselves out there, and that's the direction that we're going in.
Yep.
But be sure, guys, if you're watching, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, especially on YouTube. If you haven't followed us on YouTube yet, go to YouTube, type in the 304 podcast, hit that subscribe button. We're at about 830 subscribers. And that's where, we can, once we hit 1,000, we can start monetizing the channel and actually make make a couple bucks from it, so we can go out and do more events.
Yeah, we need to hit that 1,000 mark. We really do. So it's cake, let's cake after that. So
yeah,
we're
guys,
there.
I'm saying, man, this is
Tiny Tim Tannick.
Tiny Tim Tannick. We're going to sign off for tonight. We appreciate you guys very much.
Good night, guys, and we'll see you next time.
On 304.
Okay.